G'day everyone, you're watching Andy's Fishing and Wild Cook, and today we're on an overnight hike doing some coastal foraging. We're going to look for bush foods and do a catch and cook in this episode. If this is the first time you've seen my videos, this is episode 509 I think, and I'm pretty much just doing overnight catch and cooks from now on. Sometimes I'll do a shorter episode, but usually it's overnight catch and cooks, so come and join me and we'll see what we can find here. Sometimes I find it easier to walk behind the mangroves than in front. Oh, hang on. We've got a dead cod. I always wonder what happens to fish that I find dead on the shore. No physical signs. Let's have a look inside his mouth, see if there's a puffer fish or a lure or something. No, nothing in there. So yeah, mystery, don't know. Let's see what else we can find. And here's the next find. Oh, I bet you someone wasn't happy when this happened. That is an outboard motor case. Well, we'll pick that up on the way back, but we're gonna keep heading this way. And the whole time I'm walking along here, I'm finding little bits of food. Some of it I'm showing you, others I'm kind of walking over. But have a look at this here. This here is edible. We might eat some of that later on, but there's no point me taking it now because it's all along the foreshore. So we'll leave this one here and keep trekking. Check this out, best find of the day yet. Who wants a new dinghy? Woo! Oh, it's not as good as it looked. Look at that. You can put your hand straight through there. So if you lost this dinghy, let's get a good shot of it. There you go. If you lost this dinghy, this is where it is. Oh man, that's yeah, not much good to anybody anymore. Check this out, right on the beach hiking along, and we've got a fig tree. Can you see the fig? There you go, look at that. There's that one. Ooh, and he's really nice and soft. Let's eat him. Oh, very sweet. There's another one up here too. These are the little treats. You don't get a lot of fruit in the forest, but if you keep your eyes open, there's a lot of different types of fig tree. Oh, love the little treats. Check this out, there's a nice oyster. And, yep, he looks like he's just sitting there. He hasn't been attached for a little while. I have brought my oyster knife to get a few oysters. We're not far from camp now. We'll take him with us. So yeah, cool. While the walking's pretty easy, I've got two rods. One's the Ed X 4000 combo, and some of you will remember this. This is a Tenkara, supposed to be a fly rod, but I just use it to catch little bait fish. So I've got some live bait hooks in my pack as well. It's going to be an exciting episode. A little bit of grey weather out here, so it's nice and cool. These are actually the first storms of the wet season, so the fishing should really improve in the next few weeks. Okay, this looks like another easy to take oyster. We don't need to carry the whole rock, so what I'll do is just pop him off like that. There we go, nice size oyster, and yeah, we'll use that in cooking tonight. And this looks like it could be another oyster. Actually, you know what, it's two oysters just sitting there on the ground. There's the little one on top and the big one underneath. Look at that. That'll be all the oysters we need. So I know a bunch of you will be wondering what I'm cooking tonight already. I'm hoping to catch a fish, and if you've been watching my videos in the jungle, I like to throw a fish on a fire, but I've been working on a recipe that is much more than just throwing a fish on a fire. So I think, hopefully, this episode we're going to be able to complete that dish. I don't know, 5 or 6 episodes in the making. Yeah, I reckon it will be really, really cool. So make sure you stick around for that. Oh, check this out. One reason I walk along the foreshore is so I can find lures. They often get washed up here. They usually don't have any hooks in them like this one. And yeah, it's always cool to find free lures whilst walking along the coast. So we'll start fishing. I've got the greedy guts on. Nice flashy lure. The water is actually a little bit dirty and close. Here's a nice little outcrop. Should be a good spot for a fish. Just lean that rod right over so it goes right in front of that rock there. Check this out, I just jumped off the rock and you notice this, it looks like weed. Actually, it's a crab. This looks like weed stuck in between the rocks with gaps in it. Well, what it is actually little mussels. If I can pull one out and show you. There we go. They are little mussels. We're not going to eat those today. There's going to be hopefully plenty of other food. I would really like a mud crab or a sand crab and a baked fish on the fire. There's also these guys here. These are always a good backup. They're actually really tasty little rock snails. But again, we probably won't rely on those. We might use some of those for bait later on. Can you guys see there's no shortage of oysters along here? Oyster, 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 oyster. All through the back here, oyster, oyster, oyster. Oyster, oyster, oyster. Yeah, I could leave just off oysters and snails here alone. Check this out, guys. I have no idea what it is. Let's try and figure out what it is. It's some dead animal. Let's see. It's got, oh, I don't know, some sort of scapulary thing. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, there's a big mouth on it, and it's got teeth and it's got scales. I am going to say that this was probably a monster jewfish. It's yeah, extremely hard to tell just by looking at a few bones. Well, it could be a big groper too. Could be a big groper. That's its mouth there. That's a gill plate here. And let's have a look. What's that there? Oh, there's his skull. Yeah, big groper, I think. That's an eyeball. That's another eyeball that goes on top here. And let's have a look. What else we got? Oh, there'd be the crushers inside the throat here. Yeah, look at the size of that thing. That's my hand. I could probably stick my head inside this thing's mouth when it was alive. You have a look. That's probably how wide it was. 30 centimeters wide. Wow. So either a cod or a big jewfish. Not 100% sure. But a monster of a fish. That's its skull. Look at that. That's its skull. Wow. Alright, it's time for me to have a drink. Check out some of the vertebrae I just found. Oh, look at this. This is off that same fish. That is wild. That's like a 2-inch, maybe even 2.5-inch diameter vertebrae. That was one monster fish. I brought 2 1.5 litre bottles of water to hydrate, and I'm carrying that extra weight. Normally I don't take water, but I know there's no water here, so you've got to take all the water you bring. I've come a few kilometres and the wind's just blowing onto the shore, so it's really dirty water. There's a lot of wave action and I don't think the fish can hear my lure. I've already got a couple of bits of food. We're going to get some more. Hopefully actually I'll show you what I found. Now, they're very hard looking seeds. They're from the Burdekin Plum. I couldn't find any fruit. I may have missed them. I would like to try one of these. I'm gonna leave this part of the coast and cross over the land here. I'm now walking behind the mangroves. There's always a bit of driftwood here. There's not usually too much rubbish because it all gets caught by the mangroves. If you want to see things that other people don't see, you have to go to places other people don't go or don't look. It hasn't taken long and everything's just closed right in. I made a chopper just for this sort of thing. The first time I introduced it was in a jungle hike. So it comes in really handy. It's made from a saw blade and a couple of bits of timber. So I'm only going to hack just what I need to get through. Ooh, it's getting really dense in here. Which way do I go? Mangroves this way, scratchy, dense forest that way. I've only just started on this journey and I'm already in the middle of nowhere. There's mangroves all around me. I think I want to go that way. I'm actually on a turkey mound, a really old turkey mound. Got a bit of a vantage point. Looks like I might push through the mangroves here and then over a ridge or something. Oh, it looked a lot easier on Google Earth than it does in real person. I just pushed my way right through that, and finally it's opened up into this really low mangrove muddy sort of area. So this is pretty cool. Oh, look at that, more food that we can eat. This is called a long bum. They're a snail. I have eaten those in a few episodes. Another one there. Let's see, another one over there. Yeah, so there's plenty of food here. We'll leave these guys here as well. Hope we don't regret it later on. Kind of wish I had worn long pants now. Oh, very scratchy on the legs. If you guys like this video, you better like it, because this is the worst stuff I've gone through. It's spiky, it's so slow. That's where I've come from, and that's where I'm going. So yeah, if this video doesn't get like probably 5,000 likes, I don't think I'll come back here. It is hard work. Oh, I just stacked it in a little spot. My knee just came down on that rock there. And it's just because my my other foot got caught in a little tree like this. Oh, everything's just gone everywhere. I got that rod there, got this one here. Haven't broken anything. But yeah, oh, that's really painful. Just jammed that rock right in there. You can see a bruise already coming up there. Oh, and I've only just started up the hill. That's where I'm going. I do think I'm crazy sometimes. Man, oh, that hurts. I've been hacking through the forest for over an hour now, making sure that I've got a track back where I've come from. And where is it? Big trunk over here. Look what I found. That there is a Burdekin plum. Let's give it a taste. It's quite unripe. Oh! That's like the cross between the driest plum you've ever eaten and a lemon. I have eaten these before when this one's actually not really soft. So when these get a bit softer, like really squishy, that's when they're really sweet. And that's actually really drying my mouth out. It's good vitamin C. Anyway, I'm probably 3/4 through now, so I'm not going to turn back. I'm going to keep going. I am dripping in sweat, and if you have a look down here, it's getting really thick again. So I'll see you guys hopefully when I hit the mangroves. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. This stuff here is lantana. It's a horrible pest. Oh, and if you have a look at my finger, I've got a nice blister from all the chopping. Anyway, let's get through here. Like I said, we got to come back this way, so we make a bit of a path. Yeah, there's the end. Woohoo! Not far now. And there we are. We're not through yet, but at least we're out of the forest. Oh, this stuff is quite nasty. But I think if we stay between the mangroves and this lantana sort of scrubby forest, we should be all right. That was about 2 hours of hard labour. There we are, we're back on the coast. Got through the jungle. Ooh, hello. That could have mud crab in it. No, doesn't have a mud crab in it. Anyway, we're not quite out yet. We still got to go through here. It's starting to get a bit late, and I'm not through yet. I can't have too far to go. Oh, but it's just mangrove after mangrove. There is a lot of, there was a mud lobster there. There's a lot of mud lobster holes here. I'll show you one, there's one. That's a mud lobster hole. Very hard to catch those critters because they're underneath all this. Oh, but geez. It's been at least another half an hour climbing through this stuff. I really didn't bank on this being so hard. I don't know what time it is, it must be close to 5. And I'm still not out of the mangroves. It's ridiculous. I hope I get a fish at the end of this. I really need one. I didn't bring much food. And before I said it's going to take me 45 minutes to get out, it's going to be like 2 hours minimum. Anyway, that's tomorrow. I'll worry about that later. See that mountain behind me? Just there? That's where I've just come over. Check out how smooth and flat this little salt pan is. Oh, wish it was like this everywhere, but I guess then everybody would do what I'm doing. There's very few people that will do what I do. It's crazy. Oh. Water's coming up very, very soon. These rocks are an interesting scenario. Didn't expect that, but my calculations are right. We should see the water right there. There's the water. Oh, we made it. Oh, let's have a closer look. Yeah, it's the ocean again. The coast. The coast. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's going to be more mangroves that way, so we'll head that way a bit. Oh, at least we got through the hard bit. I had a look, it's now 5:30, so I should have a little bit of time just to be able to catch my dinner still. First thing I notice is the water here is much clearer. I can see a couple of feet there. So first cast, let's see if yeah, all our efforts were worth it. I mean, these trips are about the adventure and the discovering new things. I'm pretty sure I'll find some more things later on or tomorrow. But my yeah, first priority now is to catch a fish for dinner. Yep, got him. Oh, I dropped it. I thought I was on a rock there. Let's go again. Yeah, I really thought that was a rock. Damn it. Oh, you don't get many chances to catch your dinner here. Have a look at this turtle right in front of me, right at the end of my rod. He's only a little fella, but he's just sitting there. It's right next to my lure. There he is, right under the surface. I'm hoping he comes up. There he is. Oh, no, he saw me, I think. That's cool. There he is. Yep, he's just come to say hello. I was hoping with that bigger lure we'd catch big fish, but it doesn't go down far enough, so we'll switch to the little one. The tide's quite high, so I've just changed to a Z-Man with a TT 1/4 ounce jig head. I'm hoping that'll get me down to where the fish are. I've had a couple of strikes, but I think the fish are down a bit deeper. And then just bounce it, yeah, about a metre off the bottom, half a metre off the bottom. Oh yeah, that's it, first cast. Oh, he's only a little one. But yeah, when the tide's really high, you want to get down to where the fish are. So let's hope we can get a bigger one. This is a honeycomb or long fin cod. They need to be 38 centimetres, and well, these guys don't even go to 38 centimetres, so we'll let him go. That worked, first cast. Oh, hopefully we'll get our fish before it's dark. The sun is actually down. Yep, oh, that's another one. Oh, what have we got? It is a sweet lip. There's a nice little catch. He is undersized too. Oh, watch it, little fella. This is a grassy sweet lip. Actually, I wouldn't mind a bigger one of these. They're yeah, not bad eating, and they don't have to be huge. So we'll get this guy back in the water. Okay, off you go, little buddy, and hopefully get your big brother. Yep, and another one. Oh, this one has a little bit more weight in it. Let's get him up. Come on, fish. Oh, bigger cod. This is an estuary cod or orange spot. There we go. Orange spot cod or estuary cod. Hey, off you go, buddy. We still want a bigger one. They have to be about that much bigger. So once again, it's got a bit later than I wanted it to. We'll head back that way a little bit, find a place to set up camp. Hopefully in the morning we'll catch something and we'll cook it up. It's yeah, really high tide now. It's getting too dark. I can't even see the line. So guys, it's almost bedtime. I had a bit of sausage, bit of cheese, a little bit of a fire, and I found a really cool spot to camp. I've got some fresh water over here, and wait till you see where the hammock is in the morning. Ooh, there's a frog. He's only just started. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed and I'll see you guys in the morning. I'll put that fire out, it's a little bit windy. How did that moth get in here? Look at that. Well, guys, it's 10 to 5 in the morning. There's already a bit of light out there. It's just about enough to go filming, so I'm going to get up. No rain last night, which is nice. You can just hear a few birds just starting chirping now. I'll show you the camp after we fish a little bit because it's too dark to see much. The pants I was wearing yesterday are they're soaked in sweat, so I always have a really light pair of other pants that I can sleep in. So this is the water I was talking about last night. Because it's rained the last couple of days, this water is seeking through the rocks, and this is actually the puddle that I had a little shower in last night. I've put the oysters in there. You can actually tell it's gone down. It has actually gone down. There's the oysters. And there's the pandanus. Pandanus generally means there's sort of wet ground. They like swampy sort of ground. And here's my shirt and clothes that I hung up last night. There's a few sandflies around, so we'll whack the shirt on. It's actually not too bad. It's not too wet. Let's go catch some fish. Yep, got a fish. Oh, doesn't feel real big. Ooh, got a little pull. He is grassy sweetlet. Same as the one we got last night. Probably a tiny bit smaller. Hey, off you go. Oh, kicked out of my hand. Go on, where'd you go? Where'd you go? There he goes. Yep. Oh, that's a bit better fish. What is it? It feels like a flathead. Oh, I dropped it. Oh, I dropped it. That could have been breakfast. I'm having half a dozen casts in each spot, and then I'm walking about 8 to 10 meters, 30 feet, till I find another spot that I can cast out, which is this spot, and then I do the same thing again, half a dozen casts. Yeah, oh, that's a good fish. Yes. Oh, why is it so small? It hit hard. Oh, it's a stripey. Let's see, I'm going to say, it could be just legal. Let's have a look. They need to be 25, and my hand span is just over 25. Come on, fish. He's a bit small for what I want. Oh, he's 27. Oh, I think we'll keep him. He's a little small for what I want, but I'm not getting a heap of fish at the moment, so let's see if there's a puddle we can stick him in. There we go. We'll put him in one of our little puddles. Hopefully he'll be okay in there. Nope. Stay in there. Stay in there, buddy. And yeah, if we catch a better fish, we'll let him go. If not, we'll cook him up. Might just cover him up with a stick so that the eagles don't get him. There we go. Hopefully that'll protect him from the eagles. While I'm back at camp, I thought I'd show you the location where I spent last night. There's the hammock, and check out the big bottle tree there and the big bottle tree here. There's actually two small ones as well. It's a very cool spot. Those trees are probably, that's a 4 foot diameter, that's probably closer to 5 foot diameter. Very cool. Here's the hammock, and this is my view first thing in the morning. Very cool. And I guess who forgot to fix the shirt last time I went hiking? I'll have to, I've got it on my list now. Yeah, that fish is a little small for what I want to do. He is legal and he will do the job, but I'd like a bigger fish. It's yeah, I've got a specific plan in mind. So yeah, nice morning. Doesn't look like it's going to rain. The forecast is for a bit of rain, but I think we're going to be good today. Through the gap in the trees. Yep, got him. Oh, he got me right in. Oh, that was a nice cod. Oh, right at my feet. That was a nice, looked like orange spot cod. The further I go in here, the harder the access gets because we're getting into the mangroves. So I don't know how much further I can fish. It's all, yeah, mangroves along here. I've ended up on this little desert of rocks again. I find these places very interesting. No idea why there are so many rocks just strewn around like this. My guess is it used to be, I don't know, like a really place where the, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. If anyone does know, please let me know. It's just really odd that there would be so many rocks of similar size with nothing growing here. And there's no mountain, there's no hill. There's nowhere where these rocks came from. It's just ocean on one side, swampy mangroves on the other. And here is the last ingredient for our breakfast. You guys have seen me eat this before. It's sea purslane, or yeah, I never quite get the name of this right, I don't think. Just taking the leaves. You find it behind mangroves, on beaches. I never take more than I need, and I always take it from different parts of the plant. Spread it around a little bit. That way this plant will be healthy and here next time I come back. I think I might have just found a native grape. Have a look at this thing here. I'm going to have to do a bit of research on it. It's got 3 leaves, a little purple berry, and I think the deciding factor is these tendrils opposite the leaves. So I'll be looking this one up. Apparently not all these grapes are edible. So I'm just going to have a look inside. Doesn't smell overly good. It looks grape-ish. Some sort of white juice come out. Anyway, let's not eat that. But yeah, interesting. I will do some more research. I was just having another look at this bottle tree or Foraging, and there's actually seed pods on it. Have a look at this. Apparently some of these are edible. See the yellow seeds? Apparently they're high in fat and protein. The leaves are supposedly irritating, so we might just take that pod down to the fire. Let's see if there's any other good pods. Yeah, that one's good too. I'll take a couple of pods and check it out. Yeah, I'm having a good explore this trip. There's another one. The good news is my pack is now 3 kilos lighter. Bad news is This is all the water I've got left. I used a lot more water yesterday than I thought I would. Pushing through those vines and hacking through the trees. Oh, it's hot, thirsty work. And it's not 90% humidity. It was drizzling yesterday. So I'll pack up camp now and have a dry walk home. Whew. I've just knocked all the seeds out of this seed pod. I don't know, they don't look all that fresh. That's the inside, and to be honest, there's only 2 decent sized ones in. It looks like a yellow membrane on the outside, with the seed being black on the inside. Actually smells quite nice and oily. Yeah, that actually smells really oily. Yeah, it's not bad. It's like a really heavy duty flax seed, I guess. You'd be hard pushed to get much out of those, but you can definitely taste that oil in there. That's cool. I've got the fire almost burnt down to coals again, and I did a nice little sequence where I caught the fish in the little pond over here, but the stupid GoPro didn't work, so I didn't get that sequence for you guys. Anyway, we've got all our ingredients assembled here. Now, because I wanted a much bigger fish, like almost twice the depth of that fish, we're only going to use 2 oysters to cook the fish. So we might get those 2 oysters and just chuck them on the fire. When they pop open, we'll have an entree. Now, to prepare this fish, I'm going to gut him. Now, this guy was swimming around not more than about half an hour ago. We're going to leave the scales on, and that will protect it from drying out. We're not using aluminium foil or a frying pan to cook this fish. As I said earlier, this recipe is, I don't know how many years in the making. I've been cooking fish on fires for at least 4 years now. Now I'm going to get the oysters and give them an open. I think I can get in here somewhere. Popping open. Just remove that oyster from the shell. There we go, it's nice and loose. Leave it there. And in the time it's taken me to open these 2 oysters, the other 2 oysters on the fire have opened up. There we go. Entree is ready. Actually, we'll just let them cool down a little bit. They're going to be extremely hot. Oysters on a fire do shrink a little bit, but if you ask me, the flavour with the smoke there's nothing like it. You can see the steam coming off that. And get the other one out. He might be a bit bigger, a bit juicier. He's cooked really well as well. I'm having some serious problems with this GoPro Hero 9. If you want to buy one, don't buy one yet. There's some serious issues with it. I just ate those 2 oysters. They were delicious. Smoky. They actually tasted like those tinned oysters without the oil. Tinned smoked oysters, that is. And my GoPro didn't record it again. Oh, it's so frustrating. Anyway, let's hope I can finish this cook and not lose any more footage. I've lost 2 good bits of footage already this trip. I can't operate like that. It's a pain. Anyway, we've got some butter here, and we're going to cheat a little bit. We're going to use some curry powder just for a bit of flavour. Not too much, maybe a teaspoon. Give that a little mix around. Anyway, next step is we're going to cut this fish down by its backbone, but we're not going to cut through. People who have been watching me develop this dish over the last few episodes will know why I'm doing this, and if you haven't been watching, you will find out very shortly. I'm going to cut all the way in here, all the way down there. So basically filleting the fish without taking the fillet off. And grab an oyster and stick it in that gap. There we go. This is called, this is my version of carpetbag stripey with oysters. Then we'll get some butter with the curry powder, and we'll jam that in as far as we can as well. Get that right in there. There we go. That's right in there. A bit more. I want this fish to be delicious and moist with a little surprise inside. Get the other oyster. And this oyster is going to be very creamy. You can see the, I think that's the eggs or the milk of the oyster. Chuck that in there. Then we're going to get our greens and top that off in there. Please keep recording, camera. I don't want to miss this part as well. And then we'll top that off with more butter and curry powder. Look at that. Now if you wrap that in foil and cooked it in a restaurant, I'd say you'd have people lining up at the door for this. My idea is just to cook it on the fire as best we can when we're out in the bush or the jungle. Let's drop him in the fire. Ooh, I don't want to drop him over. I don't want him to leak it all out. So he has to stand up for this recipe. Now he's actually opening up a little more than I'd like him to, but I really have no control over that. That's actually going to work, I think. You can see the butter already melting, not the mutter belting. There's the oyster. So, and there's probably enough heat on top here to cook that as well. So when the rib cage and the belly flaps turn white, that fish will be done. Just filming a little bit of B-roll here. So as you saw, the only two ingredients I brought were the curry powder and the butter. Now, you also saw me checking out the bush foods along the way. I hope eventually that I can find spices and fruits and stuff to put inside the fish. So I really don't need to take anything with me. Each time I go out, I do a little bit of research, check out what there might be around the place. And yeah, yesterday the bonus was the Burdekin Plum. And actually the Couragong this morning, the bottle tree. Never even tried that. Had a quick look in the book. Oh, hang on, there's a bird. Check out Mr. Bird. There he goes. So yeah, that was a nice little find. I've never actually even seen those seeds before. Actually, you know what? That fish I think is ready. Let's eat him. So it's probably only been 10 minutes. I don't think it's been more than that. The fish on the outside has gone black straight away. And the greens actually look like they're done. So let's see if we can lift him up just with the knife. Oh, yep, there we go. We might let him cool down just a little bit. And always just pull that bit of coal off so you don't eat live charcoal by mistake. Yeah, we'll just let him sit there, rest for a little while. But yeah, I think he is well and truly done. I can't help myself, I've got to try bean. Well, not a bean, a Purslane. I can taste that curry flavour already. Salty beans in like a buttery curry sauce. Look at that, it looks cooked. Let's try just the fish on its own first. The curry flavour isn't actually all that strong. I can barely taste the curry flavour in that fish. Let's try the oyster. Okay, the oyster's got a bit more curry flavour in it. Now for some beans. Oh, porcine. Definitely more curry flavour in there. Oh, the other oyster. Beans and oyster. Whoop, and dripping butter. Oh, that is superb. I'm going to finish this, guys. And I thought I would have a 45-minute walk out. Took me 4 hours, or maybe 4.5 hours to get in here yesterday. It's going to be at least 2 hours getting out. I have got a bit of a path hacked. It's definitely no walking trail. So anyway, I should have this video out on time. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next overnighter. And here's all the rubbish I carried out. Lots and lots of rubbish. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please subscribe and click the notification bell so you get notified of my new videos. I do them every week. I'd also like to say a big thank you to my Patreon supporters and people who've donated through PayPal. If you want to see more right now, click the links above. Catch you next time.